Hi, welcome back to my channel. My name is Alasia, also known as the Healthy Foodie here on YouTube. Today I'm going to be showing you all my epic vegan plant-based picnic at the lake, and also I'll be talking about what made me go back plant-based. So let's just jump into the video. I started by making this really delicious like chipotle, spicy, jackfruit chicken salad sandwiches. So what you do is you just start with a can of jackfruit. It has these like little pieces in it, and what you do is you just start separating it, almost like if you were to be shredding chicken. And you just pull out these little heart like pieces that are in the jackfruit. I don't know the exact name for it, but once you like shred it with your hands, you'll feel these like slightly hard pieces. And you just pull those out, separate it, and then just continue to shred up the jackfruit. And you want it to be nice and shredded so that it can mimic actual like shredded or diced chicken. So once you do that, you're going to want to rinse the jackfruit. Jackfruit naturally has kind of like a sweet taste. So you want to rinse it, and then you're going to actually want to dilute that sweet taste by adding like some apple cider vinegar. You can use lemon juice. I used apple cider vinegar and salt. That's worked best for me. So you just add like a couple of, maybe like half a cup, maybe a fourth cup of apple cider vinegar, and then some sprinkles of salt. And then you just like add some water and then put it over to the side. And you let that kind of like marinate in that vinegar and salt water for about like 30 minutes to an hour. It's okay if it still has slightly a bit of that sweet taste, because chicken salad has a slight sweet taste when you add like the relish and the, what they call it, grapes. So for the chicken salad or vegan jackfruit chicken salad, you really just want to make it the same way that you would make regular chicken salad. So however you would make chicken salad or tuna fish salad or salmon salad, that's how you want to make it. So I like to add celery, I like to add onions, and I like to add red grapes. I know that might be weird to some people, but it's really good. And I forgot to mention that I added some garlic to this chicken salad as well. Garlic is just one of those like things that amplifies the taste of things. So when you're doing something that's plant-based, that's supposed to mimic a meat, you're gonna wanna boost those flavors up so that it can really add to the complexity of the dish. So yeah. Okay, so I know grapes, at least in the Black community, people think like grapes is such an unnecessary ingredient for like chicken salad, but I beg to differ. I think grapes add like a dynamic flavor and a dynamic texture to chicken salad. Chicken salad can be kind of mushy. I keep saying chicken salad, but it's vegan jackfruit chicken salad. But anyways, it adds like flavor. It adds a sweetness. It adds crunch. So yeah, I do grapes in my chicken salad. Let me know if you do grapes or if that's weird. Okay, so once you have everything prepped, you just want to put that to the side and then just wait on the jackfruit that's marinating in the salt and vinegar to be done. So while that's going on, we're gonna start on this sweet raspberry hibiscus tea. So I have this like kettle. All you're gonna want to do is just boil some water if you don't have one of these like teapot kettle things. So you just heat up the water, and then I want it to be fancy, so I like cut up some strawberries and put some blueberries in my little pitcher. You know, it's a picnic, you want to get cute. So yeah, that's all I'm doing. I'm just adding it to the pitcher, and then you're just going to want to add like a sweetener, whether that's going to be agave, if you need honey, but I just use cane sugar. So as we're waiting for the water to heat up, I started on the last step, well, the second to last step of the jackfruit chicken salad, which is garbanzo beans or chickpeas. What that does for the jackfruit chicken salad is it adds a creaminess and a butteriness that your normal chicken salad would have. But jackfruit, being that it is a fruit, it doesn't have that layer of buttery richness. So the jackfruit will just make it creamy and very rich and delicious. So all I did was just open a can of jackfruit and then start smashing up the beans. You could use a food processor if you have one, but I didn't have one at the moment, so I just smashed it with a fork. So yeah, the fork started to not work as well for me. So eventually I just started mashing it up with my fingers, which is perfectly fine. You know, that's what, a real chef would do. You gotta get in there with your hands. So next, we're gonna just rinse that jackfruit that's been sitting in that vinegar and salt water. Rinse it really, really well. You do not want apple cider vinegar flavoring your chicken salad or vegan chicken salad. So rinse it really well and then combine it with the chickpeas and just like stir it all together. Make sure that they get nice and comfortable with each other. And then you're gonna move on to seasoning. I like to add a lot of seasonings. Like I said before, with vegan cooking, you want to amplify the fruit or the vegetables that you're using to mimic the meat. So you're going to want to use your seasonings like cayenne. You want to use things like chipotle, smoked paprika, garlic, onion powder. You know, those dynamic flavors that will really boost the flavor profile. So yeah, you'll see all the things I use. I'll leave in the description box a list of all of the seasonings. And then after you mix all the seasonings with the jackfruit and the chickpeas, you want to add in your veggies and your grapes. And then you can't have chicken salad without mayonnaise. So I use my favorite vegan mayonnaise, mayo, which is soy free. I like to eat soy free. I know that's kind of hard being a vegan, but I try to just eat as little to no soy as possible. After you add the mayo, you want to add your relish. Every chicken salad needs a little bit of relish. So yeah. So now that we're done with the chipotle, vegan, plant-based, jackfruit, chicken salad, you kind of want to just put that to the side. I put it in the refrigerator and let it kind of just set overnight. I noticed that the flavor was a lot more, I know I keep saying complex, dynamic, but it really does layer the flavor when you just let it set. So now we're moving back to the hibiscus tea. So the tea has been brewed. So now I'm just adding the sugar to the, what's it called? The pitcher. Doesn't it look pretty with the sugar on the berries? But anyway, yeah, so I'm just adding that and then I'll pour on the warm hot water. And that's pretty much it for the tea. It turned out really well. I ended up adding a little bit more sugar, but you really can just eyeball it. Go with the amount that you like. I like it kind of sweet, but not overly sweet. So you'll see that I added a little bit of water because I needed to dilute it a little bit. But, you know, just go with your taste buds. You know, these are helpful videos, but you gotta make what you like, okay? So it's the next day, and I was kind of rushing at this point. I was running late. My friends were already at the lake. So what I did was just start making this really quick and easy bean dip, which is pretty self-explanatory. It's just refried black beans, corn, tomatoes, onions, cilantro, and then some store-bought guacamole and some seasonings. But yeah. So while I'm making this layered bean dip, I just want to talk about why I went back plant-based. My diet has changed up a lot within the last 3 years. I was vegan for about a year, then I went back vegetarian, then I started eating meat again, and then went back vegetarian, and then now I'm vegan again. So a lot of the reason for my diet changing up so much was because when I first went vegan, I was not a healthy vegan. I was the person eating bread every day, probably 5 times a day, eating bread, eating potatoes, always eating some type of meat alternative. So I found myself bloated a lot. My digestion was really bad. So I figured, oh, maybe just being vegan isn't right for me. So I went back vegetarian. And then once I went back vegetarian, I noticed that it was a lot easier for me to start getting back into eating fish. So then I was pescatarian. And then once I was pescatarian, I kept that up for about maybe 6 to 8 months. And then after a kind of hard point in my life, I ended up moving back home. I wasn't living home, but I moved back home, and I started eating meat again, kind of as like a coping mechanism, or, you know, you kind of get back into bad habits when you're going through a lot, when you're depressed, when you're anxious. So that was my coping mechanism, was going back to the comfort foods that I had when I was younger. But now that I have really gotten into a clearer headspace and really cleansed my life from the mental issues, well, not mental, but emotional issues. I promise I'm fine. I'm sane. But from the emotional issues, I don't know. I try not to get too personal. But once I really got myself together, it was a lot easier for me to get back on track when it came to my diet. So now I've been vegan for a few months now, and I feel my absolute best. And I'm just honestly loving life. So yeah. So back to my picnic. This is how everything turned out. I was really proud of myself. My friends kind of laughed at me a little bit. They were like, oh my God, you're so extra. But I loved it, and we had a really great time.
So I'm gonna try. Ooh. Oh my goodness. Honest review. Honest. No, it's jackfruit. Bro, this is literally the best food I ever had.
Thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe. See you guys again soon. Bye.